and the Colts have it.
That's important. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose.
And look at the fumble right here, and it's picked up on the bounce, and there he goes.
Week 16, Fumbling the Bag podcast. It's still on, folks. We're still here. We're still podcasting.
We're still kicking, man. You know, and we haven't fumbled the bag too much. We've been in the house.
The picks are fine. They're fine. If you like to hear some bullshit and get your information, look in the description for the game you want. Get the info and get out. If you don't want to hear us for an hour and a half, it is your obligation.
Yeah, it's been a great season. Week 16, though, man. These weeks have went by so fast. You know, it's just like, damn, it's okay. We got another week coming. Oh, we got another week. It's just going by, and we're having fun, and we're making solid picks. We're talking shit. This is what we do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, this is fun.
It is.
Wouldn't have it any other way. It's we're at the home stretch. 48 more picks left. We're going to do a wild card pick week, and we're going to peace out for a week or two, and we'll figure it out from there, pick up the pieces, see where the show goes. So it's football-orientated right now, but basketball and golf and NASCAR. And we're not talking baseball, because baseball is fucking scam.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to scout, man.
Yeah.
Opinion, man. It's just, whoa.
Yeah, it's a hard one to bet. So there's that for you. But we'll just start it off. It's week 16, man. We have every game with meaning and a lot of weather coming in as it's officially that time of the year. As you know, people of the mitten, we're gonna see some shit this weekend. It's gonna suck. So everyone traveling for the holidays, I wish you safety, health, and wealth.
Yes. Be careful out there. Huge storm coming this way. I think it's going to affect the majority of the country, I would say.
Yeah, it's coming from Antarctica or something. We're all getting hit.
You know, we're weathermen too. Y'all didn't know that. But it's coming. So, yeah, be safe out there. You know, I know there's a lot of traveling going on. I have family that's supposed to be traveling to the Midwest. I'm supposed to be traveling. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, all I can say is happy holidays and be safe.
That's right. Let's start it off because we don't really have to talk weather too much. It's baked into the lines, whether you believe it or not. Vegas is running their models with weather-based statistical models. Yes. Who would have fucking thought? All right, let's go right to it. Jacksonville going on the road to the New York Jets. I've seen New York Jets 1.5. Even I've seen them at +1. We'll call it 1.5 here. Under over 37.5. I tend to think everyone's hopping back onto Jacksonville because they beat the Cowboys. The Jets are still a top 10 defense. Everyone still hates my favorite MILF hunter, Zach Wilson. And, I just see the Jets winning. They've covered their last December home games against AFC opponents. What do you got?
I got the Jets as well. It's crazy. Jacksonville is within one game of first place, man. Yeah, man. Tennessee has they shitted on themselves a few times. So, they still have a lot to play for, and so do the Jets, of course. Although, they kind of messed up last week by losing the game against Detroit, but it's Detroit.
Yeah,
that's the first time I can say that. But Jets have lost 3 straight,
Yep.
Zach is still starting, though. He's still in the house. I think he'll play better this week. He got that first game after being a starter, coming back. He got that out the way. He didn't play horribly last week. I believe he lost the game for them, honestly.
That one pick was really bad where he tried to throw it away.
It was bad,
He was bombing it, made a couple good completions.
Yes, yeah.
Field goal at the end just didn't go through to tie the game. It's
how many yards was that? 60?
54, 50, I believe. But
in 58, maybe.
Yeah, it was like 54 to 50. It was in weather, so.
Yeah.
Greg the Leg has the distance, if you know about him. All these kickers really do kick 60-yarders.
Yeah, they do, man. They do. Pretty much with consistency, for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, Trevor Lawrence is hot right now. He has done, pretty good the last 3 or 4 games that he's played. So, the Jets defense is spectacular right now, in my opinion. They stopped Detroit. I mean, Detroit was coming in very hot on offense. And they were kind of stifled a little bit, besides that big play. So I'm going with the Jets. Like I said, the defense probably will win this game for them. Although Jacksonville is playing well, I just don't think Jacksonville will win against these boys this week.
I'm a proponent of just, I faded the Jets last week for the Lions. We keep riding that train. I was on Jacksonville. I'm just going to flip it this week, hop on the Jets. It's a Thursday. We missed last week, so
Thursday, man.
I like the Thursday picks. They're fun. I like to play them. That total too, 37.5. That sucks. It's just the whole week. The totals are insane.
Insane, man. One more thing about the Jets too, before we get off of them, man.
Yeah.
They rank 3rd in yards allowed per game at 305.4 yards.
Yeah, gotta play the Bills, gotta play the Dolphins,
Yes.
gotta play some offensive teams. In the series matchups between these two teams. Also, home team has won the last 5. Let's ride it. Let's go Jumbo Jets. All right, we'll move it along to the hometown team playing the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are a 3-point home dog, under over 43.5. Lions went, as everyone knows, from 1-6. Do we fire Campbell? What the fuck's Martha talking about? She's sticking with her guys to 7-7. Quite the turnaround. Once again, I keep apologizing. I was wrong about the team. They have life in them, and they still do. And I'll put it to you like this: no one wants to play these cats, even them on the road. They're starting to click in every way. I'm just going to keep riding the Lions because there's 3 games left in the year. They need to win all 3. I think they can cover all 3, except maybe the Bears next week.
Okay.
I've seen the line at 6.5.
Yeah, some people are saying that Bears game is going to be a tricky game. Although on paper it shouldn't be.
Every NFL game's a tricky game.
It is.
I mean,
me personally though, I'm kind of scared of Green Bay, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going with Detroit. I'm going to keep, riding the white pony, so to speak.
fuck yeah, you gotta ride it. It's just
Gotta
like,
ride it, man.
they're the weirdest team. Like, they opened the season not covering. I think they started the season not covering. They covered the first game, didn't cover the next 4 or 5, and I believe they've covered every single game since. They're one of the hottest teams against the spread to bet on. If you're a Vegas bettor, like a serious bettor, you probably love these guys.
Yeah.
I bet them here and there, like legit money. I'll throw them in parlays. They were on my teasers last week that ultimately failed. Every single fucking one came a leg short. Very painful. We'll run it back again. It's Christmas. Santa's got to, show out for me. I just got to be right. My main thing is Panthers don't win in December. They're 0-9 in their last 9 games at home. And I just got to stick with the hot hand because the Panthers, they're playing for something, but they're not.
Yeah, I totally agree. Detroit is hot like fire right now. They're starting to understand how to win different ways. Even if they don't play well, they try to make it happen as far as, winning is concerned. And that's a culture that they're building right now. Carolina, Sam Darnold is back. He's been back with the last.
He's been back
few
last
games.
couple weeks. Yeah, he's been okay.
But he's going to be a sitting duck.
Also,
man,
a team
I believe.
ruined my teaser last week.
Carolina,
Fucking Panthers,
really? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to.
Never tease through 0, folks. Bad idea. If you want to know, look at the teasers I make.
I think Detroit will destroy them up front. I think the defensive line will get at Sam Darnold.
I think they both match up very well. Front 4 on Carolina's pretty good. It's about all they have. And the Lions, offensive line, still very good.
Yes.
The main thing is the Jared Goff home and road splits. It is a world of difference where Jared Goff is putting up, 30 points at home. On the road, he's putting up about 17. So
Yeah, that I don't like. But
it's something to worry about, but you got to think they depend a little bit more on the run game.
yes,
And it's
in
gonna be a
this
time.
weather, they're probably going to have to anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold in Carolina. It's gonna be cold across the whole country. You're gonna hear that a lot in this podcast. So keep riding with the Lions.
This is my lock too, guys. Once again, I'm riding them.
All right,
One of my locks.
fair enough. Love to hear it. Go Lions.
Lions.
Who would have thought they had a meaningful game in December when they were 1-6? Moving on. Seattle going on the road to Kansas City. Kansas City is now a 10-point favorite. I think it might go back to 9.5. We'll call it 10 for now. Just look, Sunday. Whenever you get your numbers, you get your numbers. This is all variable, considering where you bet and when you bet, because some people get this number a week in advance and it's 7.5, 8.5. Under over for this game, 49. Kansas City is a different team at home. They also haven't covered in 2 weeks playing shitty teams. Do we consider Seattle shitty?
At this point, the football that they're playing, yes.
Yeah.
They've digressed considerably to me. They're going to be without Tyler Lockett as well.
He's not playing. He had the surgery. I know he had hand surgery. So
yeah, he's going to be out. One thing about it though is Kansas City is 1-4-1 ATS at home this season. Although they play a little bit, I'm not going to say that they play better at home really. I mean, they're just one of those teams that they're good and they know they're good.
They win games.
So they just win games.
They win games, don't cover.
They don't cover as far as that spread. So I'm going with Seattle. I got it at 10.
Yep.
I think Seattle definitely loses this game. But they are playing for a playoff berth. I think they're going to be competitive. Like we said, Kansas City doesn't cover spreads. So I took Seattle on this one.
I just think Seattle kind of falls on their face this game. And if the tides continue to turn for Detroit and, the Giants, Washington, all those teams combined, even Green Bay, this is, a team that's vastly outperformed expectations this year. They're still a very inexperienced young team. May I add young, one of the youngest teams out there in the league. The Lions are a young team also, but Seattle they're walking into a monster. And this is a game Kansas City needs because they need to pretty much win out, same as Buffalo, the team we'll talk about next, for the 1 seed because that is coveted. Yeah. And anyone tells you it's not, you want to have 3 games at home, or 2 games at home to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And especially not having to play that 3rd game, let's be honest here. That helps. So I think they roll these guys 30-10.
Oh, you're giving me a score too. Okay.
Yeah, 30-10. I think Kansas City, they're not going to be able to keep up with what Mahomes does. Mahomes is, at this point, the MVP. Give a look at Josh Allen still, 550 to 1 DraftKings. Seen it even at 6.
So Hurts is out of your MVP?
If he misses this week, correct.
So?
And I still think even then, I still would take Mahomes over Hurts.
Okay.
That is just me based on numbers alone. Record aside, I think Hurts has a lot more to work with than, Mahomes.
They're stacked over there.
Especially on defense. That defense is an all-star defense in Philly. Kansas City's good. They're just, not great. Mahomes really sets them apart, and I think Josh Allen sets the Bills apart, even though they also have an all-star defense. We'll move it along to that Buffalo game. They're going to Chicago. Chicago, an 8.5-point road favorite. Looks like people are smashing the Bears. Under over 40. I can see that's why they're probably smashing that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Buffalo hasn't covered for shit since I decided to tell everyone, bet Buffalo every week. What are your thoughts on this?
Because they haven't been covering, I'm going with Chicago to cover, not to win. The Buffalo's used to this particular weather.
They both are.
They're both used to this weather, so that's not really a factor. I think what is going to be interesting about this particular game is the quarterback matchups. Justin Fields is a unique guy, and we already know what Josh Allen is.
Yes, and we know what the Bills don't do well.
Right. They don't. They can't stop the quarterback, a running quarterback.
They just can't stop the run. Yeah.
Yeah. True indeed. So that will make the game a little bit interesting, but I just think that Chicago is overmatched. It's just too much talent, on that Buffalo sideline. So I'm definitely saying that Buffalo will win the game, but Chicago is going to play well. They're going to, they're going to cover basically. And I just want to see what the stats are on both quarterbacks too after the game is over.
Yeah, I'm still taking Buffalo. I know they haven't covered basically since New England, and then before that, it's been a while. They've covered once in 2 months, really, in reality. My main reasoning is they should throttle this team with nothing to play for. Chicago, I'm still hoping hits that, under 4.5 wins we've been talking about since August.
Well, this is one of the teams that we were right about.
Yeah, this is one of the few, very few we knew. And we were pretty afraid when they were 3-3 after they beat the Patriots. We were like, shit, they might win 6.
Right.
Nope, folks, this team's bad. And, once you trade away your 2-star defensive players, that's going to do it for you. Then, I believe Claypool's out this week again. Mm-hmm. So, your boy St. Brown, leading receiver.
Now, did he play last week?
Yes, he did.
Because I heard that he had gotten hurt in that game. And is he playing this week for sure?
Great questions to ask. I don't think it matters who they throw to because the skill level of those skill players, not as high as, a Stephon Diggs or even a Gabe Davis. I just would keep riding Buffalo. It's Christmas Eve anyway.
Last question. What do you think about that over/under 40.5? What is that all about?
Over. It's the same thing. It's the weather. Every single game impacted by weather here.
But with a 9-point spread, though.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That is peculiar to me.
Here's the thing I thought about. Look at last week. Killed the homie parlay. Gotta say it on camera right fucking now. I'm sorry to all my friends who were here. We had 5 of 6. I was the guy. It was like 6 legs. It was your pick, huh? Yeah, I had under. I was like, I'll give it a couple extra points. I had that teaser too. I had 5 of 6 on. I just did a day teaser.
Yeah.
Whole day watching the game so I could have some fun. And it died with, that 7-point teaser under 50.5 because I figured I was like, it's going to snow in Buffalo. They cleared the fields. They're going to clear the fields in these games. I'm sorry. That's just going to be the case.
They will.
So that's the one thing that terrifies me about some of these under-overs is that they got plows on the fields.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't snow and freezing rain during the game, it should be okay.
Yeah, it did. It did start snowing in Buffalo.
At the end. And they were still scoring. It didn't matter.
They were. They were moving the ball. Man,
yeah.
like crazy. Both teams, too.
That's the problem with it all. It's gonna be a tough week where you should think about taking a lot of points.
Yeah, you may be right.
But with my big time, once again, we're gonna go with basically teams over 9 or 10. We'll run it. Let's see what happens. I know it's probably the dumb play. Like if I was rational, I'd say take the Bears. But I'm not rational. You have to be a little kooky doing this.
Well, it took a long thoughts for me to choose the Bears in this particular game, and hey, I just got an intuition about this particular game.
I mean, they had a fight against Philly last week. It's just to me, it's just like they get these good teams at home. Yeah, they should, and they've covered against the best teams at home.
Yeah,
I believe they covered last week too, right against Philly. No, they didn't cover against Philly.
They didn't.
No.
But you know what? How many and this is the last thing I'll say about this game.
Yeah.
How many games has Buffalo played the NFC North with the NFC North? Just Detroit, right?
Played Detroit, played Green Bay.
They did play Green
played
Bay.
the Vikings and the crazy one. This is their last. Yeah, this is
now,
the last
all of
one.
those games, did they cover ATS?
Every NFC North team has covered in those games, correct?
See, that's another thing. I came up with that one myself.
Just right now, yeah.
Just
I like
right now.
that. I like that. Yeah, no, they have. And to that I say, things happen. So we'll move it along. We'll talk about one more before the little break here. Cincinnati going on the road to maybe the most embarrassed team in the league right now, New England. I've seen this number go to 3. It was these lines are so subject to change. They're going to go all over the place the next couple days. Since the games are also on Saturday, don't forget, people, we're going to have to promote this a little extra so people can view this.
Yes, you're right.
And, New England, a 3-point home dog, under over 41.5. Who wants to step in the way of the hottest team in the league?
Yes. I'm not. Tampa Bay had a 17-point lead in the second half, right? It was first half.
It was the end of the it was the end of the first half.
Still, we're in the NFL, guys. Now, 17-point lead. Most of the time, that means that you probably have a good chance of winning the game at least.
You should.
You should, yeah. But with Cincinnati, with that being said, I just think Cincinnati is hot. They're starting to get into their rhythm. They want to continue to stay in this mode, I truly believe. I think New England could possibly be demoralized after that loss last week. They're still playoff, trying to get a playoff berth. But dang, the way they lost last week, man, they either going to play very good or they're going to play very bad this week. I'm going with the very bad because of the opponent. I got it at -3. Like I said, Cincy is trying to play, trying to keep how they're playing right now.
Yeah, it's a fight or flight time for New England. I think they fight, man. After last week, it wasn't that they didn't fight in that game. They were down most of that game too. You got to think they were down 17-3.
Mm-hmm.
They hang in there most of the game, and you got to take that game to overtime. No matter what happens, take that game. Jacoby Myers. Anyone calling the game fixed? Shut the fuck up. Stop watching football. Stop commentating on football because these games aren't fixed, man. These are grown men out there. It's like, I get it. You see the uber facts. The NFL is an entertainment industry. Every sports entertainment, dumb motherfucker. Like, get fucking real and go fuck yourself. If you're going to sit there and be like, my team is, it's fixed. They're against. Patriots fans had fixed games for 20 years because of deflated balls. Fuck you. And I still like New England this week. I think they cover in another fixed game, even though Cincy's covered 14-16 against the AFC.
Whoa.
So they've been on a roll. Pats
stats.
defense, though, still top 10 in the league. Give me them at home in a fight or flight game. I think they fight, get to 8-7, try and make it.
Can't talk you out of that.
Fucking stupid idiots. That's the one thing that pisses me off. Why are you going to watch games if they're fixed? The only fixed sport is the NBA. Get it right.
Well, people say that when they lose bets all the time,
But
I say it sometimes.
Oh, yeah, we all do. We all do, but
That's some fixed shit.
They don't. They really don't, man. I wish they did. No, the books are just that sharp. I promise you.
Yeah. They're good at what they do.
Yeah, we'll move on to one more game. Fuck it. Why not? Houston, Tennessee. This was at 5. I just looked. It's at 3. Someone must have got hurt. I have no idea. Everyone's throwing their backs out to bet Tennessee because Derrick Henry averages in his last 4 games over 200 yards.
Really?
His rushing prop's 120 this week, and that's still not enough. Probably take the over.
Yeah, it's over under what, 36? Did you get at 36?
Yeah, I seen 35.5. 36 is fine too if you want to take the extra, juice on it, whatever. Tennessee hasn't covered for shit, so this is why I will keep riding, even though I don't understand the line moving in the way of Houston, a team that is also fucking terrible. They have nothing to play for. What do you got on this?
I got Tennessee on this one. I think finally they bounce back, and this is a great team to bounce back from. Although Houston has been playing, decent football. They've covered spreads, man. I can't hate on the way, their effort. I cannot hate on that, but I just think that this is time for Tennessee. It's either you're gonna start playing better football, or you may not, make the playoffs. Really, honestly.
Yeah, fight or flight again with this team. Lost 3 in a row, 7-4.
Man, they gotta get it together.
They were covering like crazy too. And now I'm sitting there with my dick in my hand because I'm like, oh, Tennessee's going to keep covering, and 3 weeks later still haven't covered. Fuck. Yeah, I'm just going to keep riding. I don't care about the reverse line movement. I don't care if Malik Willis starts. I don't care who the starter is. Derrick Henry's going to run through a wall. Houston doesn't cover on the road. That's the main other thing. Like, Houston's covered at home against good teams this year. Philly, Kansas City, Dallas.
Yes.
When they go on the road, it's a different story.
Well, I hope it is because I'm taking Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that's a lock. That's one of my about right here. Calling that a lock.
Well, see, I can't trust Tennessee on the lock, but I do believe that they can get out of whatever shell of themselves that they're in right now, and win this game and win, in good manner, in good fashion. Seriously,
I fucking
hopefully.
hope so. Yeah, I just think they do. Like I said, Houston lose again. Secure the number 1 pick in the draft.
True.
Get whatever QB you need because you fucking need one, you fools.
They do.
Yeah. All right, we'll move it along. Moving along to another game on Christmas Eve. 2 teams that infuriate me, that aren't good, that are going to both probably make the playoffs.
Right.
The New York Giants going on the road to the Minnesota Vikings. One team has covered the most in the league this year. The other team consistently wins at home as a favorite but doesn't cover. Last week the Giants should have at least, let fucking Washington score there. The guy's hugging him at the end, and then the illegal formation. That's just me. I didn't watch that game. That's about all I seen in highlights was the end of it.
Yeah.
So, $1 trillion industry. Maybe they are fixed, as I maybe take that back. No, they're not fixed. They're just bad at officiating, man.
Yeah, I've seen some terrible officiating this year, but I see it every year.
That's the thing, and I think it's gotten better over the years, honestly. Like, remember when my favorite one was you could challenge a few years ago. Remember when you could challenge pass interference?
Yes.
Why couldn't they challenge that as pass interference? Like, they took that away because they were like, well, that's taking too much time away from the game.
I just want the right call. I don't want them to take too much time because that is true because that kind of messes up the.
They're doing it on every
flow.
play that's considered a touchdown anyway.
They are. It's just let's get it right, okay? That's all. We want to get it right. It seems to me too like the eye in the sky can be able to review the play and just tell them, boom, this is what we see without having to go through all of this rhythm and roll and the referees looking at it. I get it. It looks better when the refs look at it too. But the people in the sky, they're gonna be telling the refs, what they see anyway.
Exactly.
So come on, man.
$1 trillion league.
Exactly.
Do what they do in soccer, where they literally got sensors in the ball showing you that the player is offsides by literally his ass cheek or something.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Put sensors in the ball so we know if the ball's fucking caught or not. Like,
yeah.
Like some sort of sensor in it that we know, oh, they pushed the chains for the first down. Because I've seen that before in even college games where it's like, they marked the guy fucking half a yard short and he was a yard over.
Yeah.
MSU, U of M.
It's a better way they could do this, man. With the technology that we have,
Yeah, and
this is remarkable how they're still doing it this way.
They're still doing this bullshit this way, so not fixed, just stupid. We bet real money on this. Anyways, Giants keep covering. I've faded them every fucking week pretty much, so it's time to hop on.
Yeah.
And for them to let me down.
I'm on the G train too. I've seen enough of Minnesota to know damn well that Minnesota could possibly lose this game, honestly.
Very well. I mean, what a high of last week, man. I really wish I would have grabbed whoever bet the 80 to 1s or whatever was out there. Congratulations. You really are a psychopath and predicted, the greatest comeback of all time.
Of all time. And I wasn't even watching that game live. I seen the highlights, but I couldn't believe it. I could believe it, though, with the Colts because They're just a messed up team, man, and I hate that they're messed up because that's my hometown.
No honor.
Well,
they
Indiana's
have
my
no,
home
yeah,
state.
they have no honor here.
My gosh, man.
Yeah, I still bet them time to time. I'm not saying it's a total fade team. Minnesota's not a total fade team too, and seeing this line go from 3.5 to 4.5 kind of worries me. But if the Giants win this game, I'm pretty sure they clinch at 9 wins, no matter what.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. The Giants, definitely have something to play for. I think Minnesota does too because Minnesota wants that 1 seed as well, so they can have a bye and have your playoffs at home. So it's one of those things, man. But I have a bad feeling about Minnesota though, man. I just don't. Which team do you think is faker? Let me ask you that question.
Minnesota, I'd say, because I think Dabble's just been a way better coach. And it's crazy, he's not up there for coach of the year as well.
Right.
It's Sirianni, Campbell, Shanahan, then probably Dabble. I think that's what books are calling. But I'd say Dabble's probably 2. I'd say he's done a better job with what he's had than Coach Campbell. And I like Coach Campbell. I want him to win Coach of the Year. That's my guy. Biting fucking kneecaps. Media darling.
The media loves him all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm a fan again, too. Great guy. I don't know about that, but it's just funny. I don't know what to think of either team besides I know they're fake and they won't win in the playoffs. That's my real thoughts about both of these teams. Would I pick them in a playoff game to cover a spread? Absolutely. But that's different from winning the game.
Yeah.
That is not why we're here. We're here to pick spreads,
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a knock. I just don't think they're really contenders, even though they will be there in 3 weeks' time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm G-Man this week as far as covering.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna hop on the train and ruin it. So me too. Let's move on to the lowest under/over of the week. Weather again affecting everything. I didn't even name a total in the last game. I think it's around 42 for that Giants-Minnesota game, in case you're wondering. But this is a different game.
It's actually 48.
40. Gee,
that's a lot of points, man.
That's crazy. Okay, yeah, take the under on that. Anyways, New Orleans going on the road to Cleveland. Under/over 32.5. I've seen 31.5. That's insanity. You don't see that unless it's the NFL Hall of Fame game at the beginning of the year. You really don't see that. Or Army Navy or some shit.
Right.
Like that adjacent. Both teams technically have something to play for. Cleveland could win out and technically get a wild card. New Orleans is playing for a division.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much I really like besides the under, and if an under/over is 32, God, I'm really thinking I need to take New Orleans here, but something's telling me Cleveland's the play after what they did last week against a good defense. I'm actually going to switch what my initial thought was. I'm going to Cleveland here. As much as I hate them, I think they'll cover at home.
Yeah, I'm going Cleveland, and I'm also this is my lock for the under. I got it at 32.5. I know it can't possibly. You got it, what, 31.5? You saw it.
I seen 32.5 earlier, but I seen it as low as 31.5.
Now, I can't possibly go under 31.5, you think? But I got this as a lock. This is just kind of telling me, ding, 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 ding.
But
there's no way that these teams are going to score over 30, probably.
No.
And the scouting, Vegas knows it. You know what I mean? So that's a lock for me as far as the under is concerned. But I do like Cleveland. I think their defense is stepping up to the plate when they need to.
At least in the weather.
Teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing, too. The weather's probably going to be pretty bad in Cleveland.
And they're going to cover because everyone hates Deshaun Watson. And he's been playing like bad. He hasn't been playing good. Like, you could literally be playing Jacoby Brissett getting the same results. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He's just not there yet in taking the reps. He'll be there like next year. Take the overs and everything. I think they'll be a good team. Down the line, they're going to be a good team. Hate it. Hate to say it, but...
Well, do you think that all this pressure has gotten to him mentally?
No,
he can't
not a fucking...
You don't think so?
Dude, he's on the field. It's gone. His home team's showing him love.
He got all that
shit's
money too.
That shit's put behind him, man. And, no matter what you think, it's like you got to put it behind you,
Okay.
Even though any of us would have been fired from our jobs for what had happened and transpired.
He got a raise.
He got a raise. Literally got a raise, got traded to an organization that wanted him.
Yeah.
The favorites usually win Saints games.
Okay.
So that's not good. Speaking of New Orleans, New Orleans hasn't covered for dick this year. Saints haven't covered on the road in last 5 of 6 as well. So it's just a matter of, Cleveland played a better team last week in Baltimore.
Really?
Minus QB.
Minus the QB.
Minus
That's
the
huge.
QB.
I mean,
Is Andy Dalton or Jameis really as good as Tyler Huntley in bad weather conditions? I'd say no.
No.
And having the number 3, rated rushing attack in the Baltimore Ravens and the number 3 defense, scoring defense, rushing defense, passing defense is bottom 25, but you get what I'm saying here.
Right.
This defensive unit in Baltimore that just went there didn't suffice so well. So I'm gonna switch my pick. I was thinking New Orleans. Let's ride Cleveland again. Fuck it.
Yeah, New Orleans, man. Offensively, man, they have been struggling.
God, that team fucking.
I mean, I didn't think they.
I was so high on
like
them
this.
too. Yeah, another team we were wrong about.
Yeah, we. My goodness, man, we were way off on New Orleans, man. But I'm definitely taking Cleveland in this.
Yep.
And I may take Cleveland as a lock on the side bet as well. At 2.5, I think they can easily win this game by 3 or more points. So that's something that I may take.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to my Twitter account.
Yeah, I mean, it's the holiday weekend. We're going to be betting sports, folks. We got nothing better to do. Moving along. God, this game, it reeks of backdoor. It's the Falcons going onto the road to the Ravens. I believe the Ravens line is, this is a 7.5 point line. Mm-hmm. I think it's because Lamar is coming back.
Is he coming back for sure or what?
He's questionable, but I would say that reflects it a little bit. I don't think, if he's named the starter, this goes to 14 or anything.
Okay.
Right. Under over 37.5, another weird one.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Can the Ravens cover as big favorites? They really haven't all year long. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to me as. In Atlanta, like last week, I think me and you both were on that tip. I think they can cover against the Saints. Yeah. Four's good. They lost by 3.
Right.
So good call by us. Ended up taking that on a teaser too.
Well, actually, I took New Orleans. I ended up losing that.
Oh. Shame.
Yeah, I don't know why I took it. No. That's what I should.
Yeah. Ravens haven't covered as a home favorite in their last 6. Falcons lost last 8 of 9 on the road. Ravens scoring defense, one of the best in the league at 18.8 points a game.
Okay.
It's going to be a low-scoring game. Also, with the weather affecting everything, every game is involved in this. Antarctica wave. I like Atlanta here again. They're back. They're back and covering. I don't think they're winning, and it's a big game. Both these teams,
game, yes.
Both these teams, big game. I don't think Baltimore wins by 8 points.
No, I gotta go with what you're saying. I think Atlanta covers, man. Even if Lamar plays, man, they just do not cover games. I mean, I don't know what it is about that because most of the time, they have the better team. Could it be coaching? Could it be certain plays that Lamar does or doesn't make at certain times? I don't know what it is. The defense, though, a lot of times the defense collapses at certain times, although they are a pretty solid unit. But I don't know. I can't possibly go for Baltimore because they just have not covered. Atlanta's they're not a good team.
The thing that scares me is Ritter. He was bad last week. He wasn't good.
That's true.
He wasn't good. That's the one thing I'm like, do I really want to go back to the well with this cat? Wow. Backup QB on bad team, usually bad news.
Yeah.
But this cat's probably going to be the starter for the considerable future, knowing Mariota was doing about the same things this cat was doing. So,
well, maybe he got the worst game out of his system. Maybe he moves ahead.
even then, at least Atlanta has a good rushing attack. That's the one thing that will help them out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can see them just kind of hanging in this game. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I like the under 37.5 as well.
Okay.
I would tease that up to 44.
I like that too, actually, man. I do like that under.
Yeah, that's where I lay with that. Not much else. I probably wouldn't bet it. Maybe throw it in a teaser or something. We'll move on to the most intriguing game of the week, playoff implication-wise. Or one of them, anyway. At least entertainment value for me. Washington going on the road to San Francisco as 7-point dogs under over 39. Brock Purdy can't keep covering, can he? Let me know.
Oh, man. This one was a toughie for me, man. But I do like Brock, though, man. Brock, he comes in there with he seems like he has a lot of confidence, man, and swag. You know, he's how many college games did they say this guy played? Like, he played like 40-something college games.
He started Iowa State.
Yeah.
Played most of them. I think it's 48.
Yeah. They count, you know, that's counted as experience. You know, let the coaches and the media tell it, like, you know, so he's had a lot of reps, which makes him probably feel a little bit more comfortable. You know, it's an easy game for him because he has so many things around him. You know, it's just you know, pass it to the open man. That's all you got to do, bro.
Yep.
And that's what he's doing. And you know, San Fran's defense is sinister.
Stellar.
Yes.
Is a word.
I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Washington's defense too, though. I mean, this is probably going to be a good game. It's definitely going to be a defensive game.
Yep.
I like San Fran to win by more than 7, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with San Fran though. But I do like the under in this game. Under is I got a 38.
Okay, yeah, I seen 39 earlier. I like Washington just based on 93% of tickets being on San Francisco. So the common man loves San Francisco, so it reeks trap to me. Now that I think about this is the lock for me. I love Washington plus 7. That is, yeah. I think Purdy has to struggle eventually. I think, you know, Washington's no slog on defense like we just said. They're going to get Chase Young back, supposedly, finally. I thought he was back already.
I thought he was back.
No, he's not back. Still hasn't played.
What the hell?
Yeah. No, I thought that too. Like 4 weeks ago we talked about it. No, he hasn't played.
Okay.
I think, you know, San Francisco's covered like 8 of their last 9 against NFC opponents. They're getting a lot of money. They're the number 1 scoring defense in the league. I just think at some point Purdy's going to struggle a little bit and or get into one of these, you know, just close field goal games where
it's going to happen eventually.
Scheme-wise, they've schemed him great. I remember the last week he completed like first, you know, with the extra rest. They have the extra rest too.
Yeah.
Completed his first 9 passes, just little dink and dunks.
Little dink and dunks, yeah.
Hit him in the flat, throw a curl route. Nothing crazy. It's just that the coaching is so good and the rest of the team makes up for him, and he's totally aware of it. That's the best part. He's not, you know. He knows his duties right now, and it's just to go out and win games. I don't think they care about any sort of cover. They like winning games, and that's just a cherry on the top to know, like, hey, we scored twice on them in the fourth quarter. We're up by 14. Just run this clock out.
Yeah.
I just tend to think when so many people are betting it, you know, the sharp money is going to come on Washington. That's just a matter of fact. I'm riding it with them. Those are my guys. They blew fucking that shit up in my face last week. But I'm back. Go okay. Commanders. Left hand up, guys. We're making playoffs still.
Okay. Yeah, it does have playoff implications. This game does, for sure.
Yeah, seeding-wise for San Francisco. Yes. Wild card for Washington.
No doubt.
We'll quickly hit this game up. It's a very toss-up-y game because potential MVP candidate might not play with a sprained shoulder. It's the Philadelphia Eagles going on the road to Dallas. this was basically a pick 'em when it opened. Now it's Philadelphia plus 4.5, under over 46. We got Gardner coming in. Everyone told me, I remember seeing the main conversation, bench Hurts. He's just a good fantasy quarterback. What happens when you give these guys a weapon? Like Allen, like Trevi, like Hurts. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, they become good.
Yeah, I always thought Hurts was going to be a good, football player, good quarterback.
Tua as well, sorry about.
Yeah, and Tua, I still have my doubts about.
I don't have doubts about him. He's fine.
He's playing well though. But with Hurts, man, I just knew he was going to be that deal, and Vegas knows it too. That's why this spread has just went up considerably, for Dallas. And with that being said, I still might pick Philly. I'm not sure about this game because Dallas tends to shoot themselves in the foot all the time, especially at home. So I'm like, come on, I don't know. Like I've said before in these shows, I don't like Prescott. I do not like Dak Prescott at all. I think he's overhyped. I think he's not the quarterback that they need to win anything, for that matter. I don't know. I think I'm going Philly, man. I'm changing my pick.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm with Philly 4.5. I think you'll get a 6 by Sunday once it's announced, even 7.
I think it'll go up.
And I don't think people are dumb enough to take the bait on it. I really like this game as well, just because it's the team. It's still the team aspect. And I think Gardner's going to go out there. He's very capable. He's one of the better backups in the league.
Yeah.
And as long as the defense shows up, which they have for the most part, I like the under 46, by the way.
Okay.
I think this could be a very good spot for Philly to show everyone, we're still competitive without our MVP, and they might not win. They'll probably lose by a field goal, and that's kind of what I'm basing this lean off of. And I might bet it even. We'll see. I kind of like these kind of games because remember at the beginning of the year, Cooper Rush, we were all in on Cooper Rush numbers.
We were. Yes, we were.
And ever since Dak came back, they've covered maybe 50% of their games. So it's just a funny world we live in where football, we determine what we want to bet so much based on who's starting in the injury report.
Yeah.
And it's not based on any analysis of the defense or, like what we really suppose could happen with a guy maybe with a 5-point, let's just say he'll score. Let's say Gardner's probably worth 5 points less a game than Hurts.
Okay, yeah.
He's still capable.
Yeah.
And I think people will walk up and still bet Dallas, but the sharp is going to go with Philly.
Mm-hmm. I think everything is situational, man. I think we do, kind of, we see the injury list and we're like, oh, he not playing? Oh, hell no. Calm down. I've lost a lot of bets, with that mentality.
Yeah.
They still have a system in place in Philly. The defense is working, on all cylinders. The offense is going to be a little different, but I think Gardner is capable.
He's going to be able to hit guys still.
Yes.
He's still going to throw to AJ Brown. He'll still be able to hit him. Joe Dirt's coming back this week.
Okay. All right.
I like that. Makes me happy to see.
I'm Philly all the way, man.
Yeah, and Dallas, Dallas shows they can still get their defense wrecked last week. Look at that.
They haven't been playing well the last few weeks. The defense hasn't.
And, it wasn't – that loss isn't on anyone but Noah Brown, not catching that ball. Wasn't in a bad spot. It bounced off him, got picked off. That's on no one but him.
That's true.
It wasn't like it was thrown right to the defense. It's not that Dak's a bad quarterback or anything like that. But I think it's also a game just like both teams are just going to play, and it's more or less no one get hurt game because it doesn't really matter to either team. Maybe seeding for Philly, but at that point they're still pretty much
bragging
rights
too, maybe. But it's not a big deal. I think, but let's be careful though. about that game last week with Dallas. Jacksonville had a Dallas had a good lead.
Good lead. It was 21-7. We were watching.
It's no way, Dak, you lose that game, Dak.
We were watching that one because the boys, shout out Deuce and Roy, hitting their parlays with that game. That was pretty cool to see while I didn't hit my teasers. Hey. Shout out to you guys. You guys rock.
It's another week, man.
Another week. Yeah, we'll get some
chance
winners.
For redemption.
I got plenty more chances for redemption. And if you look at the record, it's not bad. I'm still him.
Not at all.
Right. All right. 5 games left. Then we're out of here. 2 of these games, maybe 3 of them, I think. Actually, God, the Christmas slate sucks. It's not fun. We're going to find out if this beer I just opened, it looks kind of fucked up. I'm thinking it's flat. Let's find out. Oh, that's flat as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good one.
Oh, shit.
Not going to touch that one for the segment. Anyways, we'll move on to the Saturday night game. Yeah. Vegas going on the road to Pittsburgh. Both teams I thought were like 1-5 at one point. They're both 6-8 now, possibly competing for a wild card.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to think. I wouldn't bet this. It's a snoozer of a game. Over 38's kind of low. That's
kind of low. But we know what type of style, how they play, their style of play.
Yeah.
With Trubisky. I chose Pitt in this game.
We should get Kenny back, I thought, right? Already, is it 2 concussions already he's got?
That was a concussion, right?
Yeah.
Trubisky may be out. That's a good point. I'd definitely go for Pitt then. But it's a 2.5. It's at 2.5 right now.
Yeah, I've seen 2.5, yeah.
I just think that Tomlin does not want to he does not want to relinquish that 500 record that he has.
Against this team, the team that's famous for blowing every lead ever, except last week they got the miracle win.
They got the miracle win. I just think Pitt is just on a mission as far as this 500 is concerned.
They're gonna win out. They're gonna win out, huh?
They might win out. They might make the playoffs. We don't know. I mean, they're playing a little bit better. You know what I mean?
They're playing fine once they got their best defensive player back.
Exactly.
Other than that, they're still
a weak team though.
God,
they're really weak. And this over under of 38, man, that causes alarm for me a little bit.
Hit the snooze button on that game because it's just like it'll be background noise. Maybe if you open presents later or whatever on Christmas Eve or eating dinner, or if you're like my family or whoever's family, you like to play some cards, that'll just be, background noise.
Right, exactly. Well, you got basketball too.
Yeah, I think no, we're going to talk
Saturday
night. This is Saturday night. This will
Damn.
lull you to sleep for Sunday morning.
Right. We might have to watch this one.
And yeah.
I think that with this spread being this low, I think that just screams out to me Pittsburgh. Because I think if the game is like let's say a 15-15 or something.
Yeah.
That's a Pittsburgh game to me. I don't think the Raiders play well with the low-scoring games of this nature.
They just don't play well at all. They blow every lead they get. Look at the fucking Jags game. Look at who the fuck else have they played that they've just blown? Like 3 or 4 times this year.
Chargers, maybe?
Arizona,
yeah.
24-0.
Yeah.
That was a bad game, man. There's one other one, too.
This speaks Pittsburgh all the way for me, though. It really does.
I'm on the opposite end. Raiders. Been speaking highly of them all year. I don't believe they're a bad team. They just have had shitty things happen to them. That's the way of the league. That is the way of the league, and may people never change on how they believe teams act, because that gives you the actual edge in the market. We'll move on. Christmas Day, folks. You get 3 shitty games. The first game I think's okay. I'm intrigued, but the other ones, Green Bay going on the road to Hard Rock Stadium to play the Miami Dolphins under over 49.5. Rodgers in Florida, never good, but he gets to bring cold weather with him. It's going to be like 56. They're going to need them heaters on the side in Miami. It's a big game for both. Miami's lost 3 straight games on the road, finally returning home. And the good tidbit is Miami has won 11 of their last 12 games at home. Reason why I'm taking them to cover the spread and finally put Aaron Rodgers in a shitty Florida record to rest. What do you got for me?
I got Miami. I think now, it's an anomaly last week because they played a divisional team, and I think they were up for that. They may not be as up for this game, although they need to be because this is playoff implications for both teams actually. And I just think that they'll bounce back. This is a bounce back game for them, I believe. I believe they'll play just as good as they did against Buffalo. Green Bay has something to play for. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers has pride to play for.
Yeah, it's pride. It has to be, right?
Yeah. But I think Miami's at home, man. I think they're in Florida. It's not going to be as warm as it usually is.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be warm nonetheless. I mean, it's going to be a lot warmer than it is here.
Yeah.
Or in Green Bay.
Yeah. And
so I think they'll cover this, man. I think they're gonna let loose offensively, I believe.
Weather pending. It's this, we really hammered. We were like, oh, Buffalo last week. It's, this team doesn't play well in the cold. It's still true.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Tua's record, it's not good when it's under like 55, 56 degrees. So this is like in his dead zone. However, trends are meant to be broken. And even though, the one trend I named was, hey, they win at home. They usually win at home. Do they cover a home in those? Debatable. They probably have covered 7 to 12 of those. You know how the books are with that. They're very sharp in those regards. I just think it's a matter of getting back on track to a team that, was looking like, oh, they're going to win the AFC East. They're going to be the potential 1 seed. It is time for them to show who they really are these next 3 weeks. They play Green Bay, the Jets, and the Patriots. So it's a big, big home stretch.
Yeah.
I believe they get a couple of those games at home because they just went through the fucking ringer having to play like the Chargers, San Francisco, and the Bills all on the road. I just think it's time.
Well, this is a good thing for them to have all 3 games at home, in games that they really need, to win.
Oh, no, the Jets game is on the road.
Jets game's on the road.
Game's on the road for
That's
sure.
That's going to be a toughie.
Yeah.
But, they're still in a good place. I mean, but they do have to show who they are. They have to show their identity.
They do. And I think they are still they're a good team. They probably deserve to make the playoffs. I don't think, there's been all this hype around them for nothing. Look at, Tyreek Hill. Change the team. Who would have thought? Get a fucking QB, a star receiver. What happens? They get better.
Yes.
Nice new shiny toy for them. Let's move on. Couple more games here, folks, and we're fucking out of here because these games suck. It's the Nickelodeon Bowl, the worst game of the week. This game doesn't matter to the teams playing. It's Denver going on the road to SoFi to play the Rams. We thought, do we consider this primetime even? This would be another Russell Wilson primetime. This would have been his 7th primetime game if they were good.
Right?
Rams are 2.5-point home favorites, under over 36.5. Russell Wilson, we don't know if the bubble water is working for him that cures his concussions.
I don't think so.
It's not. I think he plays, even though he shouldn't. But however, he is the Nickelodeon most valuable player, no matter what. Doesn't matter if he plays or not. The Barstool guys and all the people will vote for him. And it's going to piss him off just like it did Mitch Trubisky last year. And I love it. Fucking Russell Wilson, he'll take it on the chin. He's a tough guy. This game's more important for the Lions and the Seahawks considering the draft, knowing that they're both 3 and 4 at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck them picks, they said.
Hey, Denver has more prime time games than they have W's, man.
Seriously, like twice as many.
And bathrooms. Well,
bathrooms are still winning. They're up by 1.
Man,
Can they close it out?
Hey, they might be able to.
I don't know.
I
I think Russell Wilson, if he plays, he's throwing for 2 touchdowns.
Right, exactly.
He's closing it out on bathrooms near the end of the year.
I got Denver, man. I got that 2.5. Is that what yours is?
Yeah, this is a joke of a game.
It's a joke, man. But I just think Denver's defense. And by the way, I have this as a lock for my under at 36.5.
What a better time to eat Christmas dinner, too, than watch this fucking shit. NBA is like, oh, dude, thank you for giving us the bad slate of games.
Listen. I'll eat my Christmas dinner in the attic just in case the television is on
in case
in the kitchen or whatever
comes on.
Because I do not want to see no parts of this game, man. But
I do. The problem is I have fantasy implications, and you may as well.
You're right.
Both of us made Final Four in my league, so that's fun to say. And we might play in the championship next week. That's fun.
That would be, man.
That'll be fun. We get to talk our shit to the other 8 guys.
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
But this game will leave me with like the taste in my mouth I have drinking this flat fucking beer that might be poisoned.
I'm actually sorry for myself that I'm betting on this over under, man. This is a terrible game, but I do believe that the under will hit. 36.5.
Nah, I like the over.
Do you? Who's gonna score?
They're just gonna not get hurt. No one wants to get hurt.
Okay.
A lot of scoring, 40-45. 90 points are getting scored.
That would break my heart, but would be a good game.
God. That's the only appeal this game would have is if there was points scored.
Right.
Other than that, I pretty much will do anything else. Same with the Sunday nighter. Sucks the last 3 games on the holiday weekend suck, but you gotta think they kind of probably... I don't even think they planned it like this. They probably thought they were going to be able to compete with New Year's Eve bowl games as well and stuff like that.
Well, they thought Denver and the Rams were going to be good teams this season.
They thought Arizona.
Everybody did.
Yeah, and they thought Arizona at least be a little entertaining. But we move on to the nightcap of that. Tampa Bay going to Arizona. Arizona is now a 7.5 point home favorite, under over 39.5. Another one of those weird ones. It's a dome game also. Take the over, honestly. I don't get that number being that low. I guess because Trace McSorley is starting.
Wow.
All right, never mind. I'll have to double take on that. I'm back on Tampa Bay, I guess. They suck, man. They're one of the worst teams, if not the worst teams covering. the 3-10-1 according to my book that I use primarily. I just think eventually they got to stop a team, and this is like stomping time. This is it.
Yeah. They're still they're still leading in their division, right? Or are they tied?
They are leading by a game. Everyone in their division is a game behind. So if they lose this game, they are very much in danger of being tied. And if the Panthers win and they lose, they are now in second.
Oh my goodness, man. I took Arizona. I cannot trust Tampa Bay, man. I've never seen a team that looks really bad.
They're
like this.
Dysfunctional.
Yeah, and not supposed to be this bad.
You know who's more dysfunctional? The Arizona Cardinals. You're looking right at them. That team's fucking bad too.
Yeah, especially in December.
Yeah, and with or without Murray. They don't win in December. I think you have to take Tampa Bay here. This would be another consideration for lock along with Washington. I would take 7 for them. I would give 7 to Arizona in this case. Tampa Bay's passing attack still not awful, 4th in the league. It's the rushing attack, man.
Yeah.
72 yards a game. It's the worst in the league.
I'm disappointed in their rushing game. And a lot of that has to do with the line.
It's the
Now,
line.
Injuries, and the running backs themselves, they're not playing well.
Game plan's pretty fucking shitty, too.
Yeah.
What's the coach's name? Bowles?
Bowles, man, gosh, man, I hate it for Bowles because this was his opportunity, to do something special. And, injuries, he probably hasn't schemed right. Certain things that he hasn't done. But, I mean, the players have a responsibility as well.
It's the whole team. And
yeah, man, it's the janitor. It's the fucking...
it's everyone, yeah. It's the kickers,
trainers.
the trainers.
I mean...
The medical
Get it
staff,
together,
it's everyone, man. No wonder Tampa Bay wants to jump ship to the Niners. To
Tampon Bay.
He wants to go to the fucking Jets, man. The Niners. I think he goes to the Niners ultimately.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does after the season is over. But they could very well win their division, make the playoffs,
And make a run.
You think they can make a run? I was about to say get stomped down in the playoffs.
No, they'll get to play Dallas.
Ooh,
that's
a
that
winnable
is
game.
what they won week 1.
They did. I think they have Dallas's number.
They have their number, so I think they could win a game. And
they beat them down last year. Well, they didn't beat them down, but they won
beat
the
them.
game.
Yeah, they beat them both. Yeah, the last 2 meetings, won both of them. I hate this game, but yeah, I love Tampa. I wouldn't watch this game, but I bet it. As sad as that sounds.
Hey, I got Arizona, man.
Yeah.
I might be regretting
Fair
that,
enough. Yeah, it's prime. All these games seem like I guess they're all prime time. All right, off to non-Christmas Day, but hey, a lot of us have the day off on Monday, so cheers to that, my friend.
Cheers. Yes.
And we get to cap our hangover off with the Chargers going on the road to Indianapolis, who just came off the worst, loss possibly ever. Indy's a 5-point home favorite. Under over 46. I don't have much to say. We have Nick Foles starting at QB now. Zach Moss is your starting running back now that Taylor is gone for the rest of the year.
Yes.
And it might be Sanders also at running back. I just think it's fucking... They're dead. They're dead.
Dead in the water, right?
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I'm going Chargers all the way on this, and this might be a lock. I might have like 5 locks, guys.
This tank job works so well for Jeff Saturday.
Yeah,
he's getting that other year.
That's why the spread.
Actually,
keeps
I don't
going
know.
up.
He should have got fired maybe, considering that Saturday game.
Yeah,
that was pretty fucked
bad,
up, man.
I don't think he gets asked back. I don't think he gets asked back at all.
No.
Not after that one, man. He started off so good too. He won his first game. He was like, let's go.
Yeah, beat the Raiders.
Man, I'm
Another close game. The Raiders should have won.
Now the Chargers are 6th seed in their division. Well, 6th seed in the AFC. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they are.
So they are playoff bound. I think they want to keep things moving, and this is a good team to keep it moving on.
This is definitely the team.
Yeah.
It pretty much all but considers you playoff bound. I think they have a divisional game or 2 left against either Oakland or Denver.
Okay, yeah.
Because every team plays a divisional team week 18.
Week 18, yeah.
Yeah.
You're correct.
So there has to be... It's one of those. I know they played the Chiefs twice.
Okay. So, yeah, well, they have to keep it rolling, man. They got to keep it moving. And, Indianapolis has nothing to play for except maybe for the draft.
Pride and draft. So
right.
it's... And at that point, too, hey.
And JT is out, man. He's been out, though, this whole year. I mean, he's been up and down the whole year.
I was in on Indy last week. I was pretty good. That was the craziest part is they still covered that game.
They still covered.
I was so happy. I had the tees on it as well.
Yeah.
It was like 10.5, and I was like, if this somehow like Matty Ice throws like 2 pick sixes, like it would just be my luck.
I had Minnesota at -3.5. I'm like, come on, y'all came back. Y'all came all the way back just to lose my money.
I think 3.5 is the deadliest hook in football.
It is. But I thought it was going to be a blowout, though, too. I'm thinking, okay, 14, 21-point blowout. Let's go.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, oh, it's 33-0. This is pretty much whatever. I'm getting ready.
Easy, right?
I'm getting ready for y'all to come over and shit. I'm like, this is whatever. This game sucks. It's over. And I just kind of kept watching. I'm like, something's not right here. And I mean, that crowd was electric. They're booing the whole time. It was great. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I hate Minnesota fans. Good. Glad Indy's wiping the floor. And then if you were to have left that game, God, you probably felt so fucking stupid. Because I would have left. I was literally telling Miranda, I'm like, I probably would leave this game.
A ton of people left at halftime.
Fuck yeah. What the fuck else was there? Like, and then you've seen it happen on TV, and you're like, I wish I was there. I've been in that scenario. One time, it was a Tigers game, maybe 15 years ago. I was, I was a young boy at this time. Me and my dad, it's like 8-1. They're playing the Boston Red Sox. I might have that ticket on that board there. But I remember we left that game early. It was like 7-8-1. Yeah. And I know they lost the game, but they scored 6 runs in the 9th or 7 runs in the 9th to tie the game to bring it to extras. We got home and it was a tie game, and we were like, no fucking way. And we watched it. They lost the game. I remember that, and it's just like, what the fuck?
You never know, though.
Yeah, you
just never know.
And that's why I ultimately believe sports are not fixed. Anyone who considers it's not true. Like, it's
debatable. I mean, I want to feel that way. I mean, that's not fixed.
NFL. I mean, there's definitely interests in people fixing games. Look at the Donaghy scandal. Like, that's true. That is real. That is never going to be denied that the Sacramento Kings probably should have made the finals in 2001.
Oh, man, that was heartbreaking, man.
But, and then there's the whole Deflategate thing in the NFL. It's the smaller events. It's not the entire game. It's not like they tell 100 guys, hey, Vikings, go out and win this game by 3 points. Make sure the cover hits 3.5.
Yeah. I think they're more capable of maybe fixing maybe college football, college anything, because there are so many teams.
Yes.
It seems like it may be a little bit easier. But I like to think that none of this is fixed, man.
I could
be thinking like a fool.
I think it's based on integrity, and I believe most people have, the thoughts of, to go out there and perform to their abilities. It's not a matter of going out there and blowing a game and looking stupid on TV, because nowadays every game is televised also.
Yeah. Well, I think also like not giving effort like that, like in an NBA game. Yeah, is a rigged thing to me. What the hell? You're not giving effort. You're making all this money.
NBA, you know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, I think like NBA. When I look at those lines, they are way sharper than NFL. I don't care what anyone says.
That's are
way more fixed than anything could be.
Possibly, man.
That's the only one I really am like, yeah, could be.
If you had seen,
and soccer. Well, don't forget soccer.
Too, yeah,
don't forget soccer.
Oh, yeah.
That is
FIFA itself probably fixes the games.
Yeah, that is actually, I'd say, any soccer game probably fixed.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that.
And then there's like staggered events like F1, NASCAR, where it's like we know a certain guy's gonna be up there at the end, but it's not fixed. I promise you, still not fixed.
Well, I mean, there's some hope.
There's hope, man.
Of people.
No, there is, man. Just too many people involved, too much money on the line. The books are just smart. We'll move on from that. Give me a couple locks for the week.
I got a lock on the Detroit game. I got Detroit -3. Got a lock on the Washington versus San Fran, the over/under 38. I got the under 38 on that. I may lock up that New Orleans Cleveland over/under at 32.5. I think I am going to take that under 32.5, of course. I might take the Chargers as well to win -5 also against the Colts, and that's about it right now.
Yep, for me it is Washington +7, Tampa Bay -7.5. Easy as that. If I lose the first one, I won't double down on the second or bet it all on the second if I win the first one. I'm trying to go 2-0 this week.
Hey, you got heart. Oh yeah, let me tell the fans right quick what I did last week. I'm 105, 114, and 7 as a whole. I went 7, 8, and 1 last week. My locks were 2 and 2. I'm 19, 14 overall with locks. So I'm trudging along.
Yep. Yeah, I'm 110, 105, and 9, I believe. You know, if you added it up, it's a couple units. It's my lock picks on the year were total shit. If you've been following along, it is what it is. You know, you take this with a grain of salt. You just try and find a lean, try and find a pick here and there. We might be right on, because we're not going 0-16 or 16-0 every week.
No.
It is just a matter of giving you perspective on every single game. And we've been doing this for 16 weeks. You should know this by now. It is the end of the year. Once again, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Andre.
Happy holidays,
Dude,
my friend.
Fuck yeah. I'm not religious, but it's all about the family. All
Yes,
about
it
peace
is.
and love.
Yes.
Safe travels, everyone. Got the Antarctic wave coming in.
It's coming.
But let's win some fucking money. Someone's got to pay for these Christmas presents, right?
Right. Let's do it.
Cool.